Hello and welcome to the RedsReport, Barnsley FC's longest running podcast. When Barnsley lost to Bristol Rovers at the weekend, many fans screaming out that we need strikers, we need players that can deliver a knockout punch. Well, funnily enough, Barnsley FC, in case you're watching, we might have just found a person. And he is the person that took the title at Oakwell in the summer, successfully defended it before some fans even sat down to watch the fight, and then thought, well, I might as well have another fight in a couple of weeks. He is, of course, Barnsley's own Callum Simpson. Callum, how are you, mate?
Love that intro, by the way, mate. Especially the knockout punch. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, mate. I'm great. How are you?
You know, so far so good. I was sat here sort of like before you came on, and I thought your journey. If you look at football, thousands play like Saturday League, and they never really get that big break, do they? And they play on that level, and they're happy. What's that journey been like? We know you've been adopted as one of our own. I know Barnsley fans go and watch your fight. They might not even be into boxing, but they want to support you. If you turn back the clock, where did it sort of start, and when did it start getting bigger and you started getting noticed?
I think it started getting bigger. Well, for me, it started when I was 9 years old, and I first went into a boxing gym, Barnsley Star Amateur Boxing Club on Doncaster Road, probably about 200 metre away from Oakwell, to be honest. Yeah, that's when it first started for me. But in terms of when it started getting bigger, I've always had a decent support. My mates, family, friends come and support me. But it got bigger when I first signed with Boxer Sky, broadcasting on Sky Sports. Obviously, naturally, that's when it starts to progress. And I think mainly from the support from the football club was probably from Liam Kitchen, to be fair, because I used to train quite a bit with his brother and got good mates with Kitch, and he come and support. He came with a few Barnsley players before when I won my first title. Before Sky. I think Josh Benson came, Luke O'Connell came, come and support me, and then just carried on following me. And I think some of the fans kind of noticed it, and obviously from when they put stuff up, and it's kind of just naturally built momentum through that. And obviously, I think a lot of fans might notice me from coming to the home games and stuff, and some of the away games, and then Roy from Obviously Reds, putting coaches on, and then Tom Silcock as well, my granddad Tom Silcock for East Team Reds, help put coaches on, and it's just kind of grown from there. So that's it's just naturally kind of developed, and here we are now selling East Stand out, and up and traveling up and down country, mate. It's crazy when you think about it. Absolutely crazy.
It's credit has to go to the football club, because I think a lot of football clubs will take the glamour, but they're actually it's not just about putting it on. They truly back you. You come on the pitch, they make sure that people know about what's happening and everything else. You talked about Roy Richardson. I mean, Addersley Reds, the world famous Addersley Reds, the East Team Reds. Obviously, for a lot of fans, it was that evening. Was it August in Oakwell? Zach Shelley, who came, and I love like that bravado. The stories before the boxing. He was going to come and he was going to show you.
Yeah.
Well, that clearly didn't happen.
Yeah.
You then have your first defence against Steve Woodall.
Steve Woodall, yeah.
Do you prepare? I know you have to forgive me because I don't know much about boxing. But
no worries.
Prepare different because you are defending the title. Is it different, or do you take every fight as just a fight that you need to win?
No, mate. I don't prepare any different. Maybe I think every camp I kind of learn more about myself and what works, what doesn't work, and obviously more experience. But in terms of preparing coming in as a champion as opposed to the challenger, every camp I train, and every fight I train as well as I can, prepare as well as I can, and as hard as possible, because like every fight's a must-win fight. Every fight's a big fight for me, whether I'm defending titles or not. I want to keep on winning. I want to get to the very top, and one slip up and it can all come crumbling down.
Yeah. What? When you won the title against, obviously you took it off Zach Shelley at Oakwell. What are then the requirements for you? Can you then pick and choose who you're going to fight next, or how does that work in something like the world of boxing?
So for me, it's more of because I'm signed with Boxer and Sky Sports, Sky Sports. Sorry, not Forge. It's not me that kind of chooses my opponent. It's between Boxer, Sky, and my manager, and me as well, and my trainer as well. So it's kind of a group decision. So normally, what's commercial, because it's got to be good enough to put on TV for Sky as well. We can't just say, "Oh, go on, let's go fight Roy Richardson. Let's chuck him on. Let's chuck him in with Callum on Sky." I don't know. I don't think that'll get many, but it might get a few views from Barnsley. To be fair, it'll probably beat me up. But yeah, it's got to be a credible opponent, and obviously with my career, I want to keep on stepping up in levels as well. So if they offer me someone that's not really up, nowhere near cut enough, it's pointless for me. I've had a lot of learning fights already, and also if my manager wouldn't let me fight someone that's world level yet either, because we're still stepping up. I'm British, but I believe I'm past British level, but I'm the British champion. We want to push onto European, then fringe world level, and keep on stepping up, because a lot of fighters, what they'll do is they'll win a British title and they'll try and jump too quick above the level, and then they'll come back down. So I'm progressing really well, learning every fight, and improving massively. So we're just going to keep on working his way up.
And when you say so, the Steve Woodall fight,
yeah,
you talk about camp. Like a football player, they'll train during the week. They'll have the pre-match routine on a Saturday. They go out on the pitch to play a match. Rest day after. For boxing, you need to be that ultimate tip-top condition. What does a camp look like? Do you go abroad and train like some of them do, or do you just completely retract from everything? What does camp look like?
So camp for me is normally 12 weeks long, where I will train twice a day. But I'll train 6 days a week, twice a day, Monday to Friday, and then I'll train once on a Saturday. So I'm training 11 times a week. That training includes running, sparring, boxing sessions, strength and conditioning sessions, sprints, and then so yes, it's very very intense, very hard training, yeah. But I enjoy it. I love doing it. As hard as it is, I do enjoy it. And no, I've not been I've been abroad for a bit of training, but not abroad for camp. But yeah, I am planning on going abroad at some point, hopefully this year for a camp. But yeah, it's just gotta dial in and focus really. And I miss out a lot. That's why I miss a lot of the Barnsley games. There's been a few where, and on a Saturday as well, especially away games on a Saturday, because they're setting off at 9 a.m., 8 a.m., and I can't. I've got to train on a Saturday, so I can't miss training. And two, sometimes I'm just too tired. Like some days I've got up on a Saturday, gone and trained, come home, had a bit of food, and that's just not been able to, honestly, just been way too tired. And yeah, after a long week, so it is hard sometimes, but living the dream, you could say. It's all worth it when we're doing nights like when we have nights like Saturday just gone, and Oakwell as well.
Yeah, but then you overcome Steve Woodall quite quickly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people talked about sort of like how it was stopped. I suppose a referee, he needs to look at safety. Does it needs to be safe? Blah blah blah. So you get the result. Everybody then thinks we'll have a couple of months off, enjoy life, enjoy that victory, and then start preparing for a big fight at Oakwell. And then out of nowhere, almost, you decided to take on. I'll just call him Elvis because I can't pronounce his surname.
Elvis Agora, I think it is.
Yeah,
I've been told.
we'll
call him Elvis though.
I mean, he's going to be all shook up. We know that. I have to say that. And 1st of February, that's within a month. Is that because the other fight was pretty short and you feel actually you're still in that condition and you can just add on? What makes you decide to take that fight? Or was it just too good an opportunity? Because obviously you're on one of the undercards, big venue, exposure, which is good for your career as well, isn't it?
Like you just said, it came out of nowhere. The plan was to have this fight on the 11th of January. Good defense, very solid defense as well, and then come to Oakwell in the summer. And then I had a meeting with my manager at the weekend, and he said, basically said the co-main event's getting called off due to injury. They're trying to get a fighter. They're trying to get another fighter on. They need another good fighter on. Are you fit? Are you on weight? Do you want to fight? And I was like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go. I've had, and yeah. So like I said, luckily for me, I'm not one of them fighters that have a fight and then they're off for weeks. They go missing. They're out on drink, on piss up and stuff. I'm not one of them people. And I was back in the gym on the Monday. I lived the life. And yeah, so I was in the gym. Luckily, I was fit and I'm on my way. And I'm ready, good to go again.
It's great, isn't it? You mentioned after the Steve Woodall fight, which I saw on telly. I love it how he said it, because I'm thinking you're in that ring, you've defended, and you mentioned you had a word with John Flatman, and you were allowed to mess up the pitch at Oakwell. I
Yeah,
love
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
I know you've got another fight, and I don't want to, all
That's
fate,
fine. Yeah.
but are you hoping like middle of the pitch, 4 stands, maybe 1 away stand for the away supporter, however that works? Because that would be, I mean, listen, there's been boxers from Barnsley, but you're breaking records. Your following is getting more and more and more. I love seeing, people that don't even care about boxing supporting one of our own, because ultimately, whether it's Sheffield, whether it's London, the coaches will be full one. I'm sure the coaches from East Dean and Athersley Reds will have a waiting list already.
Yeah, they're already fully booked, mate, as well. It's crazy. Within 2 days, it's, I only fought last week and I'm fighting next week, and I've spoke to Roy and Tom, and within 2 days they both the coaches are fully booked. I think I think they reserve like 2 seats just in case, and yeah, it's just crazy the support that I get straight away, mate, and it's absolutely unreal. But yeah, like you said, it's just crazy. But in terms of the stadium coming to in summer, or like I said, I've got a fight on Saturday that I'm confident I'll win. It's I'm not overlooking my opponent at all, and I'm going in there for a tough fight. But again, I'm confident I'm going to come through with that and put on a good show for everyone traveling down to support me as well. And then looking to Oakwell summer, or early summer as well, just after the playoffs. So hopefully we get to playoffs, win them. Hopefully get to playoffs, win them, and then I defend for titles or fight for more titles at Oakwell. We'll be having the ring in the middle of the pitch, opening all the stands. Everything, mate, the full shebang. And I think that there's not a fighter in the UK that has got the support that I've got. They've not, and I've been talking to Boxer and Sky, and they were talking about Chris Billen-Smith, what they've just done at I think it was Vitality Stadium and at Crystal Palace, Sellers Park as well. They've done a big stadium fight, saying that they only did 12,000 or 13,000. How much money they've got down in London, how much money they've got, in that community, how many millions of people live in that vicinity, and they were naming all these things they've got. And I said to them, I said, listen, I said, they've got all that, but there's one thing they haven't got, and that's the community that we've got. That's what they've got. All they can have all they want, but they've not got what we've got. They haven't got that community, and that's what shows, and that's what's gonna get Oakwell sold out. Like I always tell them, we back a zone, we support a zone, and we prove that time and time again.
And it is, isn't it? Because Barnsley people are no fools, and they're not going to support somebody that you give your all to boxing, so I suppose the fans give their all to you, don't they? Because they believe in you and they know what you've got. We mustn't forget, though, that the path hasn't been smooth. You talk about the highs and the Zekchelli. You then had a personal tragedy, and I, as you know, I know all too well, that can go 2 ways, can't it? That can either destroy you almost, or it can keep that fire, I suppose, burning brighter, isn't it? Because you now, I suppose you're using the negativity and the loss and the grief, I suppose, can you say, in their name, to just keep going and do them proud?
I think what I'd say is that I don't want to use, Lily, my sister passing away, as an excuse to say, I'm more motivated now, because I've always been motivated, and it's not that I want to make her proud now she's passed away. I wanted to make her proud when she was alive, and the same with all my brothers and sisters. So it's still, I wanted to make her proud when she was alive, and I want to continue to make her proud when now she's not with us. So and that's it. I feel like I am doing. We did last Saturday. We had a amazing tribute for Sky Sports. Did an amazing video of myself and my other my family. I got in the ring with all my family as well after, and I had delivery on my wraps, on my kit, and it was a very, very special night, an emotional night, but a very special night as well.
And I think that shows, doesn't it? And I think I'm allowed to. I think that shows your talent as a fighter, then, because it would be, I wouldn't say easy, but having the names, knowing what you've gone through, to then still perform like you did and finish it off within 2 rounds. it's an exciting journey you're on, isn't it? Because this is not just, somebody who's doing all right. More and more people are taking notice of Callum Simpson. I work in a secondary school, and some of the students I work with, they'll watch the podcast or whatever, and then some of them have just learned, so they go on YouTube and says, "You talk to Callum Simpson. He was on Sky Sports." And
Yeah.
it's like it become infectious almost, doesn't it? And I'm pretty sure boxing must be the second sport in Barnsley now. A lot of people care about Barnsley Football Club, and so they should, because it's our town, it's our club. It's boxing, isn't it? It's Callum Simpson. And how much you don't need no motivation to knock your opponent out or win the fight, however you look at it. But how good does it feel that you're never alone on this journey, are you? Besides the family and friends you've got, Roy will make sure that there's buses and buses and buses of ordinary Barnsley folk wanting to be there to share in your success.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Definitely, and it's just so special what we've built as a, it's not, and again, it's not just me. Obviously, I get in the ring and I fight, but without people like Roy putting coaches on and Tom putting coaches on and people supporting me, we wouldn't be getting Oakwell. Wouldn't happen. It doesn't matter how good of a fighter I am. If I didn't have the support I had, we wouldn't be going to Oakwell. We wouldn't be selling out arenas. It really wouldn't happen. And I'm just so grateful that everyone's got behind me. And I think we've been dying out for, we've not been doing too. With football, we do all right. We are what we are. We have a few good seasons, a few bad seasons. It's been a long time since the Premier League, so I think that. And I think with boxing as well, I think everyone likes watching, but it's not everyone's boxing fans. But I think when there's a big fight on, people tune in. We all like to watch it. It's a gladiator sport. We all like to watch a knockout and stuff. I think we're all guilty of that. But Sheffield's had some amazing boxers over the years. Doncaster has, Leeds has, Barnsley's. We've had a few boxers, but we've never had one that's really shone through and really put Barnsley on the map and something that's one we can. You know what? We can get behind this kid. He trains hard. He represents Barnsley well, and he makes us proud, and I'm proud of where I'm from, and I do try my best, and I think that people have seen that and they want to get behind it, and they want to get behind me and support me, and we're all on this journey together, and it's just, I'm so grateful to bring so many big nights to Barnsley and big nights for people that want to travel up and down as well. So yeah, it's great, mate.
But and you're absolutely right. But I think there's a large or a big percentage of people that might not go on Roy's coach or on an East coach.
Of course not. Yeah.
Something like me, for instance, I'm looking forward, because I know what I'm going to be doing Saturday night. You know what I mean? That's going to be
yeah.
Shandy, maybe a couple. But you know what I mean? It becomes not only those that are there, but for all those other people, because you want to get behind one of your own, and I believe in. If you had, I know, because you have to defend your title, you take one fight at a time. You talked about sort of like the ultimate, the aim that you've got. And I suppose on the world stage, you want to win, don't you? You want to be in your weight class, the best of the best. What does that road look like? Are we talking 3, 4, 5 years? Or are you saying, I'm not even going to think about it. This is my fight. I need to beat Elvis to then see who I can beat at Oakwell next. In the back of your head, have you got a bit of a roadmap of where you want to go?
I think within towards the end of 18 months, we'll be looking at a world title, I believe. I want to win the British outright, win the European, world title eliminator, and then world title. So within 6 fights, realistically, I'm going to have hopefully have 3 more fights this year, a fight early next year, and then we could be looking at a world title next year at Oakwell next summer. It's not out of the realms of possibility. This time 2 years ago, I did a Sky interview saying, "Oh, we'll bring Canelo to Oakwell. We'll fight him at Oakwell," and everyone were laughing, saying, "Oh, you're never going to fight Canelo at Oakwell. You're never going to do a fight at Oakwell. Never mind fight Canelo there." And 8 months later, we had a ring on pitch, sold out East Stand. Another year later, we're going to be using the full stadium. So another year after that, I believe we're fighting for world titles. And and again, it just shows that how much I've improved, how much I've come on, and anything's possible. Anything's possible. And again, like you touched on earlier, it's not just about the people that are getting on the coaches down and supporting me in person, because I understand it's hard to get to London, it's hard to get to Manchester. It is hard, and it's expensive as well. It's not cheap, and it's not. So there's loads of fights I've not been to, or people want to support 'cause I'm not be able to afford it and stuff. But I know that, like I said, people like yourself was going to be watching at home or in pub, and they're all going to be like, whether you're drinking or you're not drinking, you're going to be there with your family, your mates, watching someone that you see at Barnsley games, watching someone you walk past in town, or you see doing the shopping in Asda and stuff. Someone that's like yourself. And like when I used to go to Garrison to watch all big fights, and now people are going to Garrison to watch me. So it's crazy. Yeah, honestly, it's crazy that. And people send me videos in Garrison, everyone cheering, throwing beers up and down when I've knocked someone out, and it's like, I used to be there watching Anthony Joshua, watching Tyson Fury, watching the big fights or the World Cup or the sporting events.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's pretty surreal that people are now there coming together, getting together to watch me. So yeah, it's great, and seeing how proud they are as well.
Yeah, and I think Barnsley needs something like that because
Yeah,
look, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We could do better, but everybody.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, of course.
We're doing all right. But I think just that boost, because when you talk about Yorkshire, like people talk about Sheffield, talk about Leeds, this is something else people are talking about, and it's Barnsley.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes,
yeah. And I think, never forget. I know your family. I don't know you. Your family, your friends, they know you, and they'll be inspired by what you are achieving at the moment. I just want to say, from a personal perspective, I always say to people I work with, it's about two things in life. It's about ability and willingness. If you got the willingness but not the ability, you can still achieve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hard work can. If you've got the ability but no willingness, you got to waste because you waste.
100%.
You clearly have got both. You dedicate yourself to the sport. Your body, your food, your regime, everything to stay in that weight class. We don't have to doubt your ability because your record says that you're not just a half decent boxer. And it's really, really exciting, isn't it? It makes me genuinely really excited. Imagine I've seen Premier League at Barnsley, but I've not seen a big boxing match.
Yeah.
In the Pontiac or East End or West, you know what I mean? I haven't. And to think that could potentially be on the horizon because somebody is making waves and somebody is showing people what they're capable of, that's going to be an inspiration to how many youngsters that might be going to the boxing club in Doncaster Road or whatever, because you become that as well, don't you? You become an idol, like kids they used to have Beckham or Roy Keane or whoever. Now there's kids that say, I want to be like Callum Simpson.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
I think you know what it is as well. It's not just that they look up to me. They see me in town as well. The 1 minute they're coming to my open workout, they're coming to the weigh-in, they're watching me, at Oakwell fighting, or they're watching me on Sky Sports. 2 days later, they'll see me doing my food shop at Lidl or at Aldi, or walking through town getting a coffee, or in Salt House getting me Sunday dinner, or at Istanbul, or something like that. And it's like they're like, wait, what's Callum Simpson doing here? And it's like, I'm one of you lot. Like I'm here. I'm not some big celebrity. I'm not someone that like I'm one of you lot. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why it's so great as well, because people I think you look up to a lot of, I used to watch TV and look up to boxers, look up to celebrities, but you think, there must be someone special, there must be this, there must be that, but there's normal people. And when seeing me walking about town and people see me, and I get kids messaging me all the time saying that look up to me, and I message them back saying, give a bit of advice and stuff. And yeah, I think that's what's the most important thing to me. Just them seeing me out and about in town, walking about, doing my food shop, getting a coffee, and just a normal person like them.
And I think that's the biggest difference, isn't it? Maybe not Barnsley players, but kids that like Man United, Man City, Liverpool, or whatever. They live in the huge mansions and in the big fancy cars, and you don't see them in daily life. But like I said, I once went years ago. I'm not saying it's before your time, but it's a long time ago. I went to Asda, and Chris Morgan was the Barnsley captain at the time, rock hard. And he was checking eggs. He bought a dozen eggs, and he opened the box to make sure they weren't cracked. And I remember my daughter saying, I didn't know Chris Morgan checked his eggs. And I said, people. And we went up to him. He says, £2 these. I need to get my money's worth. And he became just an ordinary sort of bloke. And I suppose that's why people believe and follow your journey, because when I say you're one of us, you are the one. You like you say, you go shopping, you go to a match, you walk around town. I can't wait. I mean, this fight, not done, but you know,
I'll be winning it, mate. Don't worry. We can say I'll be winning it. Don't worry. I'm confident
and
we'll be turning up.
promise me that after the fight, but before whatever happens in the summer, you'll come back on so we can have a look at what happened.
100%, mate. Of course I will. Of course I will. Whenever I've got time, mate, you know, I always try and give my time where I can, and yeah, we'll get back on, mate. Whenever we can, we'll get back on, and we'll yeah, like I said, obviously we'll get a good win on Saturday. But hopefully we're watching. Don't be having too many shandies, and then yeah, all hopefully we get another, you know, winning playoffs. We get promoted. A couple of weeks later, we're selling out Oakwell for a boxing match. What a summer that! What a summer that'd be, mate. Absolutely. And I think as well that the buzz in the town, even after my last fight. I don't know if you saw much of the fight week stuff, the build up, the weigh-in, the open workout. It were a beautiful, you know, beautiful summer's day. Kids were off school. Everyone, thousands turned out in town centre, and you know what? Before it made me not even just everyone saying, "Oh, they're proud of Callum, they're proud of this," but it made me proud of Barnsley and in the town centre. You know, a lot of people complain about how many millions the council spent on this town centre and what they've, you know, they could be spending elsewhere. But when Sky and Boxer came to Barnsley and they set it up, they could not believe how amazing our town was. They could not believe it, mate. They thought there were going to be horse and carts around everywhere, you know, still getting about an horse and cart. They've watched too much Kes. And yeah, they couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. And they can't wait to come back. And they all loved it. Not just the infrastructure, the town, the shops, the cafes, restaurants, but mainly the people. The people. They all talk about it. They all talk. And it makes me so proud to be able to represent Barnsley. And when I do my weigh-in and I hold the Barnsley flag up proud, and yeah, it's just amazing, mate. It's just yeah, it's amazing.
There's no folk like Barnsley folks, but that's an all other.
Exactly.
Absolutely.